60s child. Hello again, you might have already guessed this. Today we're looking at Scalextric. I never actually owned a Scalextric set, but my eldest son in the 80s did, and this was the set he had, the Jaguar Challenge. We had a Jaguar and a Ferrari racing around the track. Anyhow, not so long ago, my wife spotted something on Facebook. It was one of these sites, you know, like buy it, sell it, swap it kind of stuff. Anyhow, she said, do you fancy this Scalextric? You know, for you and the grandkids to play with. So I thought, yeah, we'll give it a whirl. It was only 20 quid anyway. Now, you've got to be careful with some of these things, because some are quite dodgy people. But I must say, this guy was a very nice bloke. He explained he does house clearances and he'd had this for a while and he'd get rid of it. So I bought it off him. And this is the set I got. Now, it wasn't pristine like in this picture, but it had been stored in a loft for a long time, so it was a bit dusty and the track was quite dirty. However, it had 2 extra cars with it, and they were the very same cars that my son used to own. How freaky is that? As I said, the track was very dusty and dirty, and I needed to clean it. So what I did, I went on YouTube and had a look at a few videos at the best way to clean this, and lots of people were recommending this metal polish, so I went to the local car place and bought a tube, and I'll tell you what, it's brilliant stuff. After a couple of days, the whole track was shiny and looking new. A warning though, if you're doing this, you need to mask the rubber parts off, because it doesn't have stain white, this stuff. And it is hard work, and you will feel like you've got arms like Popeye when you've finished. I will say since then I've spent a bit more money on it, track and cars, etc. But it's all been worth it, because me and the grandkids love this. Well, for the very few that don't know what Scalextric is, here's a short brief story about it. Scalextric really only appeared about 1957. Although they were pretty basic at the time, 2 racing cars on an oval track, racing round, run by battery power. But the idea took off. Not only children liked it, but adults liked it, and it's been popular ever since. Well, the company grew. It was bought out by Triang, and eventually, and to current day, it's owned by Hornby. The toy just grew and grew and grew, and in the 60s it was massive, even making an appearance on Blue Peter.
Yes. Yes, car number 1, you're going to be on car number 2, and you're car number 4, John, because I moved 1 car out. So that means that I am in number 8 here in the Offenhauser, then there's you, Val, in an Austin Healey, number 6, and John, the back here in a Cobra at number 66.
Is mine a fast one?
Not quite as fast as mine, of course. Now, there's no cheating, and the rules are that if your car comes off, you've got to jolly well go and put it back yourself.
Right.
You're all tangled up there?
Yes, we're free now.
Right, on your marks, get set, go.
Oh, mine.
I'm leading. Now you're beating me, John.
Oh, there we go.
Come on, boy, come on. Val's winning by
1
quarter
lap.
of a lap.
John,
Where's
yours is off.
Where's yours? Mine's off? I thought that was mine.
So did I was cheating.
2 laps. Oh, mine stopped. John, can you put my...
They were jolly well cheating and all. Anyway, the toy just kept getting better and better and better. More and more cars. Go-karts appeared on the scene. Then motorcycles and sidecars came along, and these still fetch good prices on eBay today. For me, this was the best ever. James Bond's Goldfinger DB5 even had the ejector roof. What more could you ask for as a kid living in the 60s? This set is exchanging hands for mega bucks these days, and rightly so, because it is ultra rare. There was accessory packs you could buy like these. There were specialist tracks. This one, you steered the car. I don't think it really took off that well though. And obviously as time moved on, the technology moved on, and things just got better and better. The models got more realistic. Even the mini motors inside these cars got better and better. You could have all the excitement of a Formula 1 Grand Prix, or try the Rallycross, Demolition Derby, where your car falls to bits. Throughout the 70s right up to the 90s, it just kept getting better and better. More and more cars, more track, different styles, everything you could possibly imagine.
Out of the pit stop, it'll blow your mind. racing time. It's cars with brake lights, chicanes that flash. This humpback bridge is wild, change over track. Scalextric, Scalextric, Scalextric's the winner. There's more cars, buildings, hazards to crack. Crosswalks, grandstands, even counters for laughs. Scalextric, Scalextric, Scalextric's the winner.
Now those of us right into the 70s used this kind of hand controller and maybe this power pack. Trouble was, even at 12 volts you could get a nasty little shock off it. Not enough to kill your mind, but hey, it made you jump as a kid. But as time went on, things got easier to set up and a lot more safer. Even the controllers went through an evolution of their own as time went on, from very basic push down ones to trigger guns. This was the short-lived U-Steel one, wasn't really a success. And in the 80s this turned out to be like this. These actually produced their engine sound and a revving noise. Okay, but got quite annoying after a while. Then they sort of went all slimline and space age looking. And eventually, not only did they go digital, they actually went wireless. Now the basics never really changed. It was cars racing around a track. However, in the early 90s you got micro Scalextric. Now most Scalextric cars are scale 1 to 32, whereas these micro Scalextrics were 1 to 64, which is a lot smaller. But the clever thing with this is houses were getting smaller, so you could fit more track in your bedroom. Hey, and look at this, they had James Bond sets. These sets were definitely a lot more fun type sets than the serious Scalextric, if you like. And the modelling just gets better and better on the cars. Hey, now look at this, motorcycle racing on Scalextric. The bike looked pretty cool. I've never used these, so I don't know how they run, but they look really cool. Just take a look at what's available today. This isn't just a child's toy anymore. Adults collect and race these things in clubs all over the country, if not all over the world. There are other forms of slot races like the Carrera and Airfix and all kinds of makes, but for me, Scalextric was the best and still is the best. Anyway, I'll leave you now with a few catalogues from the early 60s through the 70s right up to 2019. Enjoy, and I'll see you later.